And we're recording. Okay.
Hi. Okay, can you hear me? Because I'm using a new computer.
Yes.
Am I slow?
Like a tiny bit, but it's not like it catches up really fast.
Slow?
Just a little bit. That's okay.
Okay. Well, hopefully that stops. Throw it in the chat. If I get worst case, I'll just grab my phone and log in quick as a backup. Okay. Hi, I am really excited to be here, but I'm also very nervous. My hands are shaking and my heart is thumping. But thank you, Sarah, for asking me to share. I will just say what I've learned has been from people in this group. So I've learned from not only my own downline, but upline, sideways, all of it. So hopefully what I have a ton of notes too, so I'll give you notes to take notes. But yes, I have been a rep with Zyia for 1 year. The end of October, I signed up, did my launch party right away. And honestly, from November to March of 2020, I signed up 3 reps. 2 were family members who I like not begged. I was just like, if you do this, like, it will help me. They wanted the discount anyway, so they were like, sure, we'll get the kit, whatever. And then the other one was my very first active rep, and she asked me, she approached me and was like, hey, I see what you're doing. Can you give me the details? So keep that in mind as I go forward. But my goals when I started, I set my goals every month, and they were just to find hostesses and throw parties. I was loving selling the product. I was loving wearing, getting, all that. So that was my goal when I started, and it was great. It was amazing, but I did not know what I was missing out on. So fast forward from November to March, then I went to Mini Summit in Nashville, and Mini Summit was the game changer for me because I watched all these women on the stage. I met people, and I realized, like, right now, well, we don't need to talk about it, but I realized we're not like going to these big gatherings, but we are still able to connect with each other, like in settings like this and in our groups. But I left Mini Summit feeling like capable of being a leader. I was like, oh yeah, I never really thought of myself as a leader in this business. I was just the rep selling the clothes that I loved, and it was like an easy side gig. It was easy to make commissions, but as far as leadership, I went into this point, or into Summit, thinking like that's for other people. So also a power part, like I left Summit with this feeling and this like empowerment, but then I also left with a power partner, which I will touch on a little bit too. But and what I realized at Summit was, and I don't know like if there was one specific speaker or what it was, I think it was just the whole event. Like I really had a gift. I was like, I am holding out on people because I have this gift. Like I was in that moment and learning and growing and all of that. And I was like, why am I not sharing this with people? What, I know I'm the baby of the family and I tend to be a little selfish, but I was like not sharing this with anybody. I don't know why. So I started thinking about that, like my reach out list, or my, like what came to me of like, who can I contact? Am I frozen? We're okay. Okay, I have to make sure I wasn't frozen. Okay, but I started thinking like, who can I help? And as soon as I made a list of who I could reach out to and help, like my whole mindset changed. And I came home from Summit on, I don't even know, it was the first week of March, and reached out to those people, and 5 of them signed up as reps. I was like, yeah, I was holding out. I was not sharing the gift. And then just a little side note on that. Once I had those 5 people on my team, I was like, oh, Shelby, what do I do now? And I'm reaching out to Shelby Trail and taking in all the trainings I can, going, somebody give me some leadership books. I don't know what I'm doing. But the reality is we are all leader. Like we are all capable of leading. And I remember Shelby coming on one of then what I called like my little team calls that I started up with these gals, and talking about that. Like, we have this gift to offer, and Shelby, I'm gonna butcher this, but just like you can have 10 women there and offer them a gift, and some people aren't gonna like it and they're gonna say no thanks. Some people are not in the mood for that gift. Some people are, Shelby, I'm probably saying this wrong, but the idea is that doesn't mean we don't offer it. How they receive it or accept it. And I think Zyia is a gift. To be a rep for Zyia is a gift. If you've not experienced that yet, if you're a new rep and you've not experienced that, that's okay, because you will eventually in your journey. So I got back from Summit then, and basically I got to work, and I went to work. I got to work, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this. I am a goal setter. Previous mom life, I used to be a probation officer. That was my career at one time. Now I'm just my side job is I do personal training, and I thrive on helping people set goals. Sometimes I'm not the greatest at my own, but I'm like, set some goals, because really, when we sit down, and this is one of the one thing that helps me is keeping my goals SMART. And if you've not ever heard that term, maybe a lot of you have, but SMART goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So I'll break that down for those of you who are not familiar. Maybe a lot of you are. If you're like, oh yeah, I know SMART goals. Awesome. Let me know. Share anything you know about them. But specific is basically, what do I want to do? So, do you want to add 1 rep this month? Do you want to have a 3x4, which is why we have the Achievers Club. So when you have 3 reps and 4 parties closed in a month, like, is that what you want to do? Figure out what your goal is, and make it specific in terms of recruiting. Then the second, measurable, how will I track my progress? So I'm going to touch a little more on this as I go along, but knowing that it can be tracked. If there's no way to measure it, obviously, like, oh yeah, I signed up a new rep, that's progress, right? But also there's a little more to that, because there's depth in like tracking it, and then you can't just have a rep sign up under you and then leave them to the desk. You also need to measure that out to your time. And I'll go on, because achievable, how will I do it? Not can I do it, not can I achieve this? Yes, you can achieve it. How will I achieve it? How will I recruit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever reps? And then the 4th one, it's like, how many letters are we on? The 4th one is relevant. Is this relevant? And this is obviously like generalized. SMART goals are applied anywhere to any type, any aspect of your life. But in recruiting reps, I look at this as, is it relevant to my why? Because I am always in this coming back to my why. Why am I doing this? Why Zyia? Why, when we start up, that should be kind of our first thing of why are we doing this? So is it relevant? And then time bound. When do I want to do it? If we don't put a time on there, if we don't say in this month, or maybe it's a quarter, maybe you run your business quarterly, and like in this chunk of time, this is what we want to be. Thank you, Sarah. And if you have to put a time on it. Here's the other thing about goals and SMART goals, but all goals, you're not going to hit them every time. You're not going to hit the mark every single goal. Maybe you will for a while, but eventually we've got to stay humble somehow. So just know that too. But they're worth setting. Then the next thing, and I'll say this, one thing I do with the girls on our team is I do every week, like, hey, throw your goals up there. We check in. Some of them share their goals, some don't, but the ones who consistently every week, right, type out their goals in our group, they're the ones that are crushing it every month after month that I'm watching. So there's something to be said about that, I think. The next thing is plan for action. So we can set all the goals we want, and we can, answer all those the smart things, but if we don't have a plan, like obviously, if we don't put it into action. And so this is one thing that I love, like when I first started, I didn't really know how to, and by started, I mean like started asking people, and I was like, okay, I have a gift here. That we have scripts. Like I know some of the, help me out here, like on the, I don't want to say Trello, but the Wix, we have in Zyia Papaya the scripts for recruiting. So you can look up and like have the whole sentence or the whole paragraph. There's options. So, and you can tweak it to be more how you would sound, or you can just copy paste if you want, till you feel comfortable sharing the opportunity. Just do whatever works, but just know that that is an option. And then a couple of the other things that come with a plan is having a day for reach outs and follow-ups, both of those. And whether it's a day or just a time slot in the day, but make sure, because that's huge in your business, recruiting. And then also your social media posts. I do not share as much on social media. I'll be honest about that. Like right now on recruiting, when we had that $100 gift card, absolutely. I was like, these people are watching. So you want to be sharing that. You do want to share that the opportunity is there. And like maybe as the kit updates, I always let my VIP group know, like, hey, because there's people in there watching. So those are things you can do for action. And then also tracker sheets. I can't remember who did the trainings, but I know like you can either use a Google Doc, you can use your back office to track for follow-ups. I personally love my 5-star notebooks, and like sometimes it gets messy, but knowing like if you're writing down customers and hostesses and things like that, like tracking who you've shared the rep opportunity with, so that one, they don't get missed, because people get missed. I look back to that first active rep I had that approached me, and I think had I like reached out to some of those girls, most of those girls are actually now on my team. Not even like in downlines of mine, which is amazing. But I think, man, why wasn't I asking them? Because then I wasn't that as organized. It doesn't have to be all put together, but find a system that works for you so that you can put the It says I'm unstable. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. It's back. Can you see me?
Oh, okay. Yep, I can see you. You guys are all frozen, so I can't see you.
And it might work better. It might work better if your video's off. Maybe that'll take off some of it. Not that we don't want to see you and your beautiful face and your hair. You got blow dried out today. Okay.
Yeah. Is that better? Okay. So, okay. And then the other thing is to offer, like, not even just offer, like, you're not necessarily asking people, you're offering it to people, like, here, this is what I got going, you want to check it out, and do it shamelessly. It's not, we don't do it in a pushy, selly way. It's planting seeds. It's making genuine connections. So anytime you're in a party, make those genuine connections, because chances are, and I know we hear this a lot if you're in trainings a lot, that it's our customers who become, most of us were customers before we were reps. So be in tune to that. Watch in your VIP groups who's liking your stuff, who's kind of maybe under the radar, and people like to be invited. We just do. We like to be invited. There's personalities who will jump all in and say, "Oh, I want to do that." But for the most part, people like to be invited. So throw that invite out there. Plant those seeds with your social media posts and whatnot, and then know your audience and make those genuine connections. That is all personally my action plan in like a broader scope, but then all those little daily things that I do, like Sarah and Shalini talked about, like the unglamorous things, that's the rest of it. So the last little bit, I guess tips that I have, I feel like I sound like a broken record, but be confident in what Zyia has to offer, because we are all here because Zyia has something to offer for us. And whether it's your leggings for free or your extra spending money for the holiday season, you know, those commissions, just being part of this community or your own personal growth, whatever it is, Zyia has something to offer for everyone. And so be confident in that and own that when you're reaching out and offering to friends and family. So, and then one thing that kind of hit me too was revisiting your why. So, and I say this because when I looked back at my my months of recruiting, because in fact, when you asked me, Sarah, I was like, I don't think I've like really recruited. I'm just having so much fun. I didn't know that I'd recruit. I mean, I obviously know because our team is amazing, but I had this last month 0 in October, and I look back and the other month that I had was 0. And here's why. That was in May. And in May, I'm a homeschool mom, I have 5 kids. We were finishing school. My business got set a little bit to the side because we were finishing school. In October, we were like, I mean, September, we were getting into school too. In Minnesota, sometimes the summer drags out as long as we possibly can. Like October was our month where we were trying to get in our groove as a family and get school going. So and that's okay. I adjusted. That doesn't mean my why changed, but I adjusted my goals. I adjusted for that season and that month. And that's okay. Then now come November, it's like, okay, here we go. Let's readjust. Let's reset those goals, and also revisiting my why. Because right now too, and I would challenge, if you've not ever done a vision board, whether you're a leader of a team or just a rep here, do a vision board. We have a gal on our team, and she led an awesome training for us on vision boards back maybe in April, May. And now we're kind of getting like closer to the new year, and it's like, let's do that vision board again so that we can all kind of grasp our focus and like where we want to go with that. Yes, ebbs and flows. I love that, Sarah, because it's true. We have ebbs and flows in life, and that's how our business is. It has to fit. Otherwise, it's going to feel like too much work. And Zyia is not work. It's amazing. It's fun. And then that's the other thing is soak in the trainings when you can, connect with others. I will say, if you don't have a power partner or you don't know what that is, if you're new, I would highly recommend it. Ask your upline, ask somebody like to help you get connected with a power partner, because for my business, my power partner who I met in Nashville, we shared similar goals. She's in Canada, but we have stayed in touch. She has not pushed me. She's helped me stay accountable. I've helped her stay accountable, and we really have been able to, I don't know, just it's nice to have somebody to come alongside you on a little more of a personal level with your business. So, and then of course, having your system, tracker sheets, goal check-ins, all that kind of thing. But then the biggest thing is to just be yourself, because at the end of the day, and now as Zyia's grown just since March, Zyia, there are reps, I have people who I'm like, oh, they're a Zyia rep now. Why didn't I ever ask them? And now, yay for them. I'm happy about that. Happy for them. But your vibe is going to attract your tribe. So if a rep lands in a different team, that's okay. That's awesome. Know that there are people who will be attracted to even your personality, not in the sense of like a popularity contest, but in the sense of the people who are going to be a part of your team will be there for a reason, and those people will help you shine and you will help them shine. And so I am very thankful for the gals who show up week after week, and we just have a lot of fun. And so know that, just be yourself, and know that you are a leader. If you have one rep who signs up, which right now, like if you are wanting to get that junior rep, you can do it. You can be a leader with 1 rep or 1,000 reps. I just have to say that if you think you are, if you think you are hitting your goals with your sales and all of that, and you're having a blast. I'm sure you are, because it is very fun. It's so fun going into the holiday season with this, just selling things and knowing that people are buying gifts for other people. That is so fun. But watching other people have success is so much better. It's so fun watching some of these girls who I see some of their faces on here, having success, becoming leaders themselves. So don't miss out on that, because I really did. I missed out on that the first 5 months, and it's never too late to just be like, oh yeah, I'm going to try that. I'm going to try to recruit. So offer the gift and have fun with it. So that's all I got, Sarah. Does anybody have questions?
Well, we're probably going to get some questions. I wanted to say something that I loved everything that you said. One thing that I really, really loved is that you talked about your story and that you didn't. I think a lot of people join, and then if they don't recruit in the first little bit, like they really kind of get down on themselves and they don't have a lot of confidence in recruiting and like, you know, like getting back into recruiting or really pushing through. But I love that you said it took you, you know, about 6 months to sign up, you know, one of your first recruiters or your workers that wasn't like, you know, your sister or a family member. And I think that that is so huge. Because a lot of times we hear, you know, especially at Summit, we hear from people that are achieving all these high things. And in reality, we all start from ground zero. And I think a lot of times we don't see the ground zero, but we need to like share that. And I think that is so relatable. It is so, I don't know, I love that. I don't know why that was like, I don't know, that made me, yeah, that makes you happy going on, you know, you're going into month 3 with no rep yet. Awesome, right? Like just because the situation we're in right now doesn't mean it'll be our situation forever. And I think that we have to kind of realize that, and people are going to come to you, and they'll come to you when you're ready and when you're open and prepared. And like when she decided she was a leader and she wanted to be a leader, and that's when she started attacking her business differently with confidence and stuff like that. So trust the process. Keep sharing. Exactly. Jordan, that was amazing. Does anybody have questions? That you wanted to ask her? Everyone is a leader. Maybe I missed some. I know that recruiting is the number one thing we overcomplicate. And so something else that I wrote in there is just offer it. Like so many times we're like, but what do I say? And I promise you, like, I think the scripts are amazing. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm drawing a blank with this one. Like, what do I say? What's the perfect thing to say to this girl or whatever? But when we just take it down to, hey, I don't care if you're like, hey, I'm brand new. I literally have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm having so much fun. You should do this with me. I don't care if it's that. Like, I'm not joking, because if that's how you're authentically reaching out to somebody, that's going to resonate with them rather than pretending like you know everything, right? Like, I just think we have to not overcomplicate it and just invite and share and, you know, just all the, anyway, like you said, to just offer and share shamelessly and to not prejudge. Anyway, these are all the notes I've taken from you. So I'm just regurgitating what you said, but not prejudge what somebody's going to say back to us. Who can I help? That's the biggest takeaway for me. I agree with that. Perfect question. Cassandra on her hubby's phone. How did you find your power partner, Jordan? Are you muted?
At Summit. She actually, can you hear am I frozen?
No,
at Summit, I met Allison and yeah, I don't know, she somewhere in Shelby's downline. And so we just kind of started talking and had similar goals, similar aha moments at Summit. I think that was probably more of our connection, not so much our goals necessarily, but we were having these like, oh yeah, you know, so.
I think for us, sorry, I'm totally jumping in the middle.
do.
I think for our team, it's been sort of like something we've preached from the beginning. Hi, Jordan. Thank you for sharing. You did so awesome. We've just been preaching for probably a year or more now that having an accountability partner or a power partner is really, it actually stemmed from me as a leader, not being able to feel like I could like touch in and help with everyone and feeling like everyone needed a buddy, but it couldn't always be me. And so we kind of started developing those relationships within the team of who likes to work in the morning and who's going for similar goals and who has similar maybe backgrounds, and then also who has something to offer that I'm missing in my business. Like for example, myself personally, I'm super, yeah, you can totally reach out to your upline, Megan. Um, I'm super great at like coming up with ideas, or I feel like I am, but not always the best about implementing the system to get us there, or like just like maybe even like the details of it. I'm more of a big picture person, and I've got other friends who are awesome at the details. And so I partner with those people and we help each other in, every step of the way. But it's more than that. I mean, a lot of us as power partners get to the relational level where it's like we're talking about like our kids and our lifestyle and things like that. And you just become best friends, and you look forward to any time you get to touch base with them business wise or personally. But yes, you can talk to your upline. A lot of I will hand this back to Sarah and Jordan, but that's just kind of how we Jordan's on my downline, and so that's kind of how we started with it. But we have girls reaching out from all different teams. Like Jordan said, her power partner isn't necessarily like right in her immediate team. They're cross line from each other. And I think that's really good because you get different ideas and different trainings and different perspectives on things.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you, Shelby. Do you always have a connection before pitching the rep? I'll let you answer this, Jordan. Do you always have a connection before pitching the rep experience? Do you ever just pitch it to someone on Insta you haven't connected with first?
Okay, I'm gonna keep my camera off. That is a really, really awesome question. So, and here again, so my power partner, she does great with cold reach outs on Instagram. She does awesome. She challenged me when she would do them. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that too. Well, it honestly for me was a little more out of I think it's out of everybody's comfort zone if we're all being honest. Maybe not, but it it didn't it's an easy way for me to personally to feel discouraged. I would do it and I would either get ghosted and b or I was like yeah, I didn't love, none of us really like the no's, but there's gonna be no's. I find that doing the extra work, and I am also a very relational person, and so like I'm okay with getting to know someone for a while before I'm necessarily like, hey, here's this. But with that said, there are people on Instagram who I would call strangers, not in my, a warm market? Is that, am I confused? Not in my, core network, who, yes, will watch, and if I see them watching my stories or they might like a post of mine, I will reach out to them. I will say, hey, has anybody ever shared the rep opportunity with you? So, and that might be the first time I've ever sent them a message, but I know that they're watching versus like, hey, I followed this person and they maybe follow me, but there's not really, I don't know. Does that make sense? Let me read your question too. Yeah, so not typically, I don't on Instagram. I think in the beginning, like in April, that was easier to do. But honestly, May, June, July, like we grew as a company so much that I don't know. There's more brand awareness, which is great. And that doesn't mean we should pull back, but do you find cold messaging? Yeah, I guess I don't know, Megan, the answer to that question because I think it's a personal comfort thing. I find that making connections is your best way to recruit reps. And I don't mean you need to know who their grandma is and how many dogs they have and all of that, but again, your vibe's gonna attract your tribe. And so if you're vibing with a gal and you feel like, and maybe you do know that and she's kind of a stranger, but you maybe know that her family's going through a hardship, like, again, it's a gift, offer it. The least you can say is no. I had people, and I'll tell you a story about that because I had my sister-in-law's sister, I've met her twice, they lost their jobs, or not lost them, but hours cut. And so I knew that they lost, it kind of started with a conversation that her having a party saying, well, I think they might think that $65 leggings are too much when their income's being cut. Well, she's really into CrossFit. So I'm like, well, maybe she wants a side job. And this is inspiring because I've not asked her to be a rep, but now she's become one of my best customers, and I will. Oh yeah, no, I take that back. I sent her a thank you card, and I did write a note in there. Let's talk about the rep opportunity. So I need to follow up with that. But she again, like, I went third party. I thought, well, my sister-in-law said she doesn't want to be a rep, so she doesn't want to be a rep. But here, look at, now she's bought, I don't even want to tell you how many pairs of leggings. She's bought a lot of leggings from me. So that was, we can't assume that somebody's not interested. We can't assume that somebody, just like we can't assume that somebody's maybe not going to like our leggings. Assume that they will, and assume that they will be interested, and then ask them shamelessly.
I'm just writing notes. Assume they will. I really like that. So it's taking me a second. I love that so much. And I think so often, if we aren't willing to reach out to our friends and family, like that we think about, or we think they don't need it, or whatever, we've had these preconceived judging things. I am the worst. It took me forever to launch it took me 9 months to host my own party. Like, it was so bad. I was just like posting. I wanted to do it on social media. But I think so often we need to remember how many people we do know. So you don't need to always just go to cold messaging, but reach out to your Facebook friends. I mean, there's so many people that we do know. Start with your Facebook friends. Hey, I just joined Zyia, or I joined it 2 years ago, or whatever. I don't know if you've seen what I'm doing. Christmas is coming. I'd love to be your personal shopper for gifts this year. It's as simple as that, right? And creating those conversations, creating those connections again, you're not reaching out to them and saying, hey, Shelby, I haven't talked to you since 3rd grade, but do you want to join me in this business? It's like, hey, I don't know if you've seen what I'm doing. I would love to be your personal shopper, because going back to, what is it? Like 1,000,000% of people that tried our leggings become reps. I don't know. Used to be 70%. I swear it's up to 90% of our reps were customers first. So just get them in the leggings, like just message them, and that's your connection. So go to your Facebook friends group, go to your husband's Facebook friends group, go, unless he's like mine and he would like smack me. No, he doesn't do that. But do you know what I mean? Like, you just do it like, no, I'm helping them, right? So just reach out to the people you do know, because don't always go to, I need to reach out to this really big Instagram girl I think she'd be awesome. Reach out to her too. Don't spend all your time thinking about her. Reach out to all the people that you do know, and you will have a lot of success. Start a new hobby or a mom group. Yes. Start a new hobby, join a Facebook group, join all these things, and make connections that way. It's not just about, hey, I see you have twins, so do I. You know what I mean? Like, join a hobby thing, join a Facebook group, join something. If you're somewhere like where I live, we're still doing in-person stuff. So anyway, wherever you go, exactly. Don't be like me. And somebody commented, I had 8 people comment on my leggings when I was new in a yoga class, and I just said thank you, and then I walked out of the class because I was so embarrassed. I was like, okay, stop looking at me. So then I like left. So don't be like me. Just be like, thanks, I sell these. Let's get you a pair, right? Anyway, go ahead, Jordan. Anything else you want to add?
No, that is all. I actually feel like now I'm like, no, I need to be taking notes. So yeah, that was awesome. Thank you, girls, for asking me to share and learn from each other, because that is where that, like, these team calls, and if you have smaller team calls, jump on them, because that's gonna fuel your energy and give you the confidence. When I get off of training, almost every time I am like, oh, I just want to work now, or not work, but I want to do my things, because you feel confident and you feel energized. And so use those kind of bursts of confidence and bravery to ask those people.
I love it.
But thank you, Sarah, so much for inviting me to share.
Oh my gosh, thank you for sharing. That was so perfect, and it was so good to see your face. I need to hurry and go back when I said she got a blowout and it looks good. Last time she trained, she said her blow dryer broke, and this time it was perfect because she was getting a blowout today. So that's what that was, not because I necessarily recognize and like look at people's hair and what it should look like on a call. Nobody needs to get a blowout before they do a call. I actually have a robe on under this. I just didn't want to sit here in my room. Like, I have no leggings on. Anything goes. Just show up. That's the rules. Okay. All right, you guys, I'm going to let you go. Thanks so much for an awesome call, Jordan. And we will get this up tomorrow under units in the Papaya page. Okay. Have a good night. I'll text you, Katrina.